Welcome to aefTV. I am Wandi Swantengento. Today we have the head of the IPP office in South Africa, Karen Breytenbach. Thank you for joining us. Let's start with projects. What projects are you excited about in South Africa at the moment?
Well, we're basically going into a whole new procurement phase. We have done 5 rounds of renewable energy and a coal round. And we're now going into what we call bid round 5, which we believe will be a whole new start of our program, which had a little bit of a delay between 2016 and 18.
So in creating a conducive environment for investment, what is the IPP doing to encourage a hospital environment for investors?
You know what, I believe that investors are looking for certainty. So the more you give them certainty and a view into the future, the better. So, and that is why one of the really big things or success factors in South Africa has been the fact that we went bid window 1, bid window 2, bid window, so it's rounds of procurement. And with the new IRP, that's going to happen again. So the government of South Africa has recognized the importance of having certainty. So investors want to come and see, you know what, in 2022 we're going to connect 2,700 megawatts. In 2023 we're going to connect another 2,500. I'm just making up the numbers, but and then up to 2030, what is it that they can expect? Because that means they can come and set up a business in South Africa. It means they can come and work with us. It means they can understand what we're trying to do and what we're achieving in our country. And it gives them comfort. It gives them comfort to understand what we're doing, to understand that we're very transparent in the way we're doing things, to understand that they can come and look at what we're doing. They have got access to us. We talk to them all the time. We talk to the lenders all the time. And that makes them feel they know what we're doing and they know what to expect.
Obviously, there's easy access for investors to come into the country and see what the IPP is doing. But in the past, what have been the barriers for investment?
In the past, I must say to you, we have been now we were set up in 2011. So it's basically, 8 years that we are in existence as the IPP office. When we started, we only had Eskom, which is our utility, and a monopoly. And although the country tried a few times to do an IPP program, we were never really successful. What the Department of Energy then decided to do is to set up the IPP office and sort of a ring-fenced office which will do the procurement on behalf of the Department of Energy, and where the private sector will do the generation. And I think that made a big difference in terms of how the market started to see us. So it's not the competitor big Eskom that's driving this. It's an independent little group sitting together, working with the department and Treasury, our National Treasury, and trying to find our feet, and with them, listening to them, and build a program in which they can feel comfortable to come and invest. What I must say to you, then during 2015 to 2018, we had basically a massive delay, and that made a big difference in terms of investor confidence. In South Africa, we had all sorts of difficulties, political and otherwise, and it got to a point where Eskom, who's the off-taker, didn't want to sign the PPAs anymore, the power purchase agreements anymore. That was really bad, and it still have got a negative impact on the country, because everybody that we are speaking to is sort of, well, you know what, we need to see that you will do it again, that you will come with a constant pipeline that we can invest in, and we can come back and do our business. What we also lost is the ability to manufacture anything, because we had PV panel assembly in South Africa. We had 2 tower manufacturers in South Africa. Africa, which one went basically belly up. So if you start a program like ours, you don't get the downstream or upstream development that you would like to see, where many more jobs and jobs, long-term jobs, will be happening rather than on a power plant, because you've got lots of jobs during construction, but the moment when you go into operations, it's a digital thing, because somebody sits in a big room with a lot of screens and they just watch and make sure nothing goes wrong. So there's not a lot of jobs during operations, but there's a lot of jobs during construction. But if you can get manufacturing going in your country, then you will benefit a lot. And I think we're now there, where we need to establish manufacturing again and make sure that the investors in that value chain will stay and work with us for a better future.
All right. So what is the IPP's future plans in South Africa?
Well, we hope that we will still do a new procurement around this year. So, and if you just look at our IRP, that's waiting to be finalized and going to our cabinet for approval. There's about 5,000 megawatts that will have to be connected to the grid in 22 and in 23, which means it's a lot of megawatts that we need to procure to be in the grid by that time. So I'm excited about it, because it means we can go out and do a new program. We've learned a lot over the years. We can apply what we have learned. South Africa is a very specific environment where, because of our history and apartheid, we need to bring in people who are disadvantaged into mainstream economy. That's a very big part of what we would like to do, and to make sure it happens. And I think we have done a lot already. However, developmental work never stops. There's always something new and something extra that you haven't thought of and that you need to do. So I think it's very exciting. I think it's almost like a new beginning for the IPP office. We're back to the drawing board, if I can call it that way. Things have moved a lot since 2015, when we announced our last round, and we signed in 2018 that round. So it's almost like a new beginning. We can think new, we can listen to other countries, what they're doing, how they're doing it. And I think that's the good part of being here at AEF, because you see people here, the Spanish are here, the French. I mean, it's like a big family meeting together again every year. And it's very interesting to listen and to understand what is happening in the rest of the world and where are we still behind. And we can take from those learnings and bring it into our program. So I'm very excited. I'm really very excited.
So what are your expectations from the forum?
Expectations, just to hear and from everybody else and on the continent what's happening. And I think when Andy from Power Africa spoke this morning, I mean, we in South Africa is no different than any other country on the continent. We're also learning, we're also making mistakes, we're also having our own problems. But it's always good to listen to what they are saying, the rest, and listen carefully and hear and understand, is there something that I can bring into what we are doing? And AEF has been a very good platform over the years to do exactly that, to meet people, to talk to people, to listen carefully to what's happening in the rest of the world, what's happening on the continent. I mean, we met with Mozambique this morning about their renewable energy program. So it's building those bridges and connections and sharing experiences that can take us all forward, and we as the South Africa IPP office, we're very happy to share our learnings with whoever wants to listen, but we are here to listen.
Thank you so much for joining us.
It's a big pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. And thank you for watching the aefTV.